Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we laid a slab of concrete that would be fitting for any Imperial Guard engineer, and... well, that took longer than I thought. 16,000 generic units of currency has just been deposited into our account. We now have 70,000, which is hopefully enough to at least put all of the foundation here for our main cell block. Let's just go over to reports and to the grants tab. We can see that we haven't got any grants that we can pick up yet. We do want to get cell block A, but before we do that, we have to get the basic detention center done. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to pause it and go through some of the changes that I have made up here. So obviously we did need to alter this somewhat because there's a couple of things missing, a couple of things missized and things like that. So I've went ahead and done a fairly drastic overhaul in this. Like, actually, there's very little that hasn't been changed. So coming in from the entrance here, we still have a 4x4 security room, and then we've got a room, or at least a corridor going to the left, which has many rooms connected to it, and then one corridor that goes up and round into the main cell block. So following to the left here, we have a small corridor which will go into the kitchen, which then also follows into this canteen, which has been shrunk down but also lengthened. We have on the far left a morgue here, and then finally we also have an infirmary and a psychologist office. Now, whether or not we use that psychologist office will be really, well, we'll have to see, but we can always get rid of it and just have a bigger infirmary. So that's all in there. In terms of this room, you can see it is longer but not taller, and the reason for that is originally we had a couple of pathways and separation between the kitchen and the canteen, and I wasn't entirely sold on it. It just didn't truly flow, but this way I think it seems to work a lot better. Now we have an entranceway in the left and an exit on the right. Well, technically you can go in either, but ideally you want to go in there and exit there, and people can go through that. So essentially it's like another corridor where the old one was, and it's roughly about the same size, I believe, in terms of square footage. At the top here, the reason it's shrunk down is we've got several different rooms now, and I'll go through those in a moment. So on the right hand side, originally it was going to be a chapel and other things, but I've changed that up because we didn't have any visitation, so that's what this room is going to be. I was going to put a door there, but that would incur some security problems, so I'm going to leave that as is. This room will be the, I believe, library, probably, something like that. Actually, maybe not. I don't know what that'll probably be the classroom, because we didn't have that either. So we'll go for visitation, classroom. That'll be the shop for definite, because it's a 4x something. The shop is a 4x4 minimum, whereas everything else is normally 5x5. This is the chapel. This is the parole. This will be the I think that was going to be, that might have been the library, actually. I'm not too sure. There was we put the library over there. This is going to be our cleaning cupboard, or probably, actually I'll probably not put a cleaning cupboard in here. I'll probably go for a laundry instead, and that's what that will be. And then we have a room here which is probably going to be the common room. Originally it was over here, and I didn't like it there. I thought it best to place it here. In the centre, we have a fairly reduced yard. It still could be shrunk down by some more as well, and if we wanted to, I can easily sort of shrink it right down and put more common room in there. But I think by the time we get some benches in here, probably put some weightlifting stuff in there, we'll probably be alright. This shower block has seen a vast revision, mainly because of these two rooms here, which I'll come to in a moment. But as you can see, it's a little bit smaller. It's also a little bit all over the place. These are probably going to be toilets, but I haven't yet decided. But we still got showers there, and if we want to, showers there. But I'll probably put benches, but we'll see how we get on with that one. And as you can see from the top and bottom, the corridor just runs past there, so hopefully we'll have a good flow of prisoners. In the centre here, we have what most people recognise as the standard solitary area that we build, which is just this tooth thing, and we'll have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 solitary cells, which is probably enough for the prisoners we have here. If it's not, then we can always change and add and obviously alter these cells. We have a holding cell here because it's always best to have one, especially in an area like this where we don't have overflow at all anywhere else. So if there's a problem, then you really want them to stay inside here, because the whole point is keep everything segregated. Our main cell block, where we have all of our prisoners, this has seen a very, very big overhaul. We now increased our capacity by, instead of having a block here with a line down there, pathway, and then block and line down, it was just too much corridor, and it was just not necessary. This does incur some problems. It does introduce a couple of issues, but we'll get to that in a moment. We can see that we have many standard cell blocks all the way down there. Your standard 3x2s going from the left to the right there. In the corner, I wasn't too sold on the weird block that we had for the graded cells, so I've said we're going to swing like that. We still do have graded cells, this obviously being the highest graded, this being the second highest in the centre, and then we have these ones here that are slightly larger. So in terms of grading, we've actually reduced that a little bit. If we really wanted to, there's no reason why I can't just do that, and we can increase the grading artificially. There's no problem with that at all. In fact, what I'm going to do while I'm here is just bring this down like that, just so we know that everything's all sorted. And as I said, if we want to do that, then we could do. In fact, what will probably be more accurate really is that, because then all of the best gradings are on that side. I think I'll probably do that. That makes a bit more sense to me. We don't need them, but it's always useful. Actually, I'll probably best open that because it's easier for you to see. And there we go. That's all the changes I've placed on there, and that should be, hopefully, the final design. There may be tweaks, or there will be tweaks and changes, I assume, as we progress on, but that is, I think, a better revision. So I'm just going to unpause it while we go over to objects, and we're going to go into sprinklers, and we're going to place a sprinkler in and around this area here. Now, this is where we have our power block, and previously we've had a lot of issues with fire, so I'm going to put a lot of water sprinklers in there, which I don't know if is going to be very good, but hey ho. You can see that staff morale is high because currently we're not rating anything. If we go over to needs and staff needs, you can see there's nothing in there because it's only guards and such that have needs. In terms of money, 70,314 generic units of currency. We're receiving minus 25 a day. That's all. However, we can easily fix that by going over to our, where will it be? In finance? No. Grants, and you see our bank loan is currently 500 with an interest of 25 per day. If I decrease that, we get 0 daily cash flow. So basically, we can sit here forever and a day. However, there's a reason why I've left it on that bank loan, because our credit rating has gone to 10.0, which means our maximum loan is now 250,000. I'm going to decrease that to nothing now, because I don't think we need it. Yes, getting our credit rating up means that we can now build this thing completely legitimately, and that's good. I like legitimate building. Let's go to building brick, and actually not do that. Let's go to utilities, and to the small pipe. We will run a small pipe along, and then down to this one like that. I don't want to cross here just in case we have a problem. In fact, we will have a problem really if we have to rebuild this, so we'll not do that. Let's just go and check around here, checking that the offices are all sorted. Obviously, there is nothing on the flooring. We do have to resolve that. We will have to put some flooring in, but quite frankly, needs must. We need to get this basic detention centre done, which unlocks other grants. I have got the Reform Through Education initiative, but that's mainly just to get a big bulk of cash. Let's go to building brick and place what is quite possibly the biggest slab of concrete we've ever placed. It is 53,820 generic units of currency. We will also have to buy probably about 5 or 6 grand, maybe more, of lights, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. So I've just got this on max speed, and it will take quite a while for them to crack on with that. So with that being said, let's let the workers crack on and finish that, and we'll go through some of the other changes that we need to implement. So I'm just going to plan these off. I'm not going to spend any more, but basically what I'm going to do is have an entranceway on certain sections along the line here, and mainly because we have to. Like this walkway here, as you can see, is it's got no nowhere to get in it, so we do need to have an entranceway in the corner there. But we'll probably put a double there, and we'll probably put a single on these ones here. And we're going to make sure that we have access to this area. In fact, it's probably best to put it on the top, and then the top, and then we know that we're all sort of symmetrical there and whatnot, and all sort of matches up. That's fine. And then we'll have one there, and then one down here, 2 there. And it means that we have access to these here, and the people can run around. We obviously will have to have some more security. We will have to have some more guard towers, but we'll get to that one. What I need to do is just measure this, so we'll have a quick look. It is a total of 127, so there is a middle. So that would be 63, and that should be, is that the middle? Let's see if my maths is totally filled. 63, and then to there would be 63. Excellent! That's what we wanted, so that is where we'll put our door, and we will just scoot all the way to the bottom, and our door will go there, because technically that is the middle. We could put some more on the left. We probably will do, but there you go. Hopefully there won't be many people running around here, and if they do, there'll be the guard towers there to probably deal with that. Guard towers, what sort of things are we going to... Well, are we going to have a lot of them? The answer is, for the time being, no. Later on, almost certainly yes. And the reason for that is because of the type of prisoners that we're going to get, which this one is definitely going to be a standard prisoner cell block. So not high risk, not low risk, your normal risk prisoners or medium risk prisoners, but we'll go for normal risk. Those are your default prisoners that have been in the game since, yeah, dot. We're just going to place that there. And this will then build the entire cell block, and then we'll bankrupt ourselves by placing all of the lights. We do have auto light on, and as I've mentioned previously, I really wanted the ability to turn off auto light and then give it to us, and then realise that actually it's not really that good, because as you can see, it's auto lit all of these areas here, which are absolutely terrible. We won't need them, and when we place the walls and such, it'll get rid of all of those, and then we'll have to auto light anyway. What we need is an auto light tool where you click on tools, auto light, and it goes right. This is the size of the room, or auto light, and then do that, and then it auto lights that grid. That's what we need. And if there is a mod, then please by all means tell me. So while this is getting auto lit, we do need to basically spend the least amount of money as possible to get this grant done, basic detention center. If we don't get that, then it's not the end of the world, because we do have more than enough money waiting for us in the kitty to essentially do it by getting loans and then paying it back quickly. But I'm going to get all of the basics done here. In fact, I'm going to place a large one there. This is going to be our holding cell. So holding cell, we'll place that there. We also want a yard, which we'll place here, and this will probably be legitimate, yes. By the way, this yard here, it wasn't meant to be under the concrete. I am going to probably demolish that. I'll probably bulldoze it, but not now, because if I bulldoze it, then it might class as outside, not between walls. So I'll leave that there. I should have really built around it, but yeah, my mistake. So a shower. Bit of a weird size on here, but it'll be like that. And as you can see, it is shouting out for a shower head. We are going to go for all of the very basic stuff. That's all we're going to do. There's the shower head. In here we need a toilet and a bench. So this will actually be probably the final design. Toilet and a bench. There you go. I might put one there. I'll deal with that later. So I'll actually get rid of that bench as well. So there's that fine. We need a kitchen and a canteen. So kitchen. Might be a bit small, this kitchen, but we can expand it if we need to. So kitchen, canteen. You can see we are using the planning. We are working within the confines of that. So that needs serving table, bench, etc. So objects, serving table. 1, 2. Darn it. It's going to go over that bit. That is really annoying that it's not one further along. Is it possible for me to do that? Planning. Would have to do that, wouldn't it? And this is the morgue, which will have 2 morgue slabs in it. That's actually okay. And I can put a wheelie bin there if I need to. Morgue slab there, morgue slab there, morgue slab there. It's a bit tight, but it'll go in. I think that's better for our needs. And then we can have two more of these serving tables along. I'm just going to place them because, quite frankly, they cost so little. This side here, I was thinking of having either a toilet or probably somewhere where we can have all the phones and such, so that's fine. So 5 serving tables is actually more than we need. I'm also just going to stop that a second. Would it not be best for us to have it like that, 4, and then have the entrance there? That would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Now that I think about it, which I should have done previously. Having it there And then we can still have that little entranceway there with the double door. That actually makes a lot more sense, and this will be odd though. 13. It's not too much of a problem. No, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. What I'm going to do though, because I think that kitchen might be a bit too small, is I'm going to shrink this down. I'm going to shrink this down here. Like so. And we'll increase the size of the kitchen a little bit. Still, this is still our infirmary that's a bit bigger than I originally envisaged. Could shrink it a bit further. If we shrink it one more, it'll be like that, which is still reasonable size for the beds and stuff that we're going to place in. Still 5 beds, or could go with 6. Yeah, we still could get 6. We still could get technically we could get 6 if we do that. Well, we don't even have to do that really, but that looks more sensible. Yeah, we'll probably do something like that. Naturally, we will have doors on all of this bit here. Yeah. But I just assumed you would figure that out. And that's really increased the size of our kitchen. It's added another good third onto it, so that's fine. And we haven't really lost out on much in the infirmary because the infirmary was just wider and we wouldn't be putting beds in the centre anyway. So, yeah, just better utilisation of space. So that's the canteen getting all of the basics in. We will put a table and chairs in. Table and bench, rather. Like that. This might be the final placement as far as I know at this time, because I'll probably place all of them along that way. But I haven't planned that out. I'm just placing that to get the grant done. Kitchen needs a fridge, cooker, sink, so yeah, we'll do that. Cooker will go in here. Fridge will go there, and sink there. Alright, good walkway, good separation. That's fine. Obviously, power, water needs to be ran. We'll be doing all of that. For the time being, though, staff, guard, 1, 2, cooks, 1, 2, and there's our basic detention centre grant done. 14,000 in the kitty, 14,258 to be precise. However, we are losing 400 generic currency a day. We could resolve that by firing the guards that we've just hired. And do we want to do that? I do not know. However, I do know I want to get cell block A completed. And that should be quite an easy task. So 34 grand advance payment plus another... sorry, not 34 grand. We've got 34 grand, but with a 20 grand advance payment, another 20 grand upon completion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, we're not going to do that one. So what we'll do is we'll do this row here. And we'll do a bit there. And then it'll be like pretty much done. So over to materials, brick wall. And we will build one model prison. Cell. And then call it a day. And unpause it. And I really should have turned off auto light. I'm going to get rid of all of these lights because I'm going to have to relight all of the cells individually anyway. One of the big problems that I've had in the past is not lighting. Actually, it's not a problem. Mechanically, it doesn't really matter at all. But just thematically and looking at it anyway, it just looks wrong when the lights are just not in the right place. It's just really annoying. Especially when you've got cells that are just in complete pitch darkness, and as I said, they don't actually mean anything. It really means nothing to the game. That's actually fine. Oh, that's going to get rid of that one, isn't it? Don't dismantle that one. Right, there we go. I'll let them crack on with that. All these lights that we're dismantling, by the way, we will get back. The canteen is actually fine, as is the kitchen. This isn't at all. Corridor's fine. This is lit. This is lit. See, it's looked out that most of these are okay, apart from that one. But as long as there's light in there, then we're fine. Obviously, we do need some lights in these corridors. I'm not going to I'm not going to bother too much about separation. Like, oh, there's not lights in every... You know, we haven't measured the lights exactly where they go. It's just not going to happen. You know, we don't... Or I don't have the patience nor time for that. Right, so this is one of our cells. So obviously we're going to try and make it a model cell. So all the cells will follow this same design. So we'll have a bed, like so, and we'll have a toilet there. Toilet further away from the wall as possible. Well, not this way, obviously it's going to be that way, so it's fine. Jail door there. And then finally a light will go there. Alright, that's fine. While we're doing that, we need to think about running power. So, we will have to also contend with, there's power requirements here, here, and here. And we have 2 power stations. I'm going to run a power cable up and out of this building. Like so. And we will follow the corridors. The other way of doing it would be to run it along here and then just do strips. That can also work. I don't know whether that's better or not. I'm just going to keep it like this. And then split it off and down. Although we'll still have to run in there anywhere. It's just going to be a bit messy whatever we do. In terms of pipe work, we also have to run some piping. So we'll run that across like so. And for this, we may not... No, we're not going to do it like that. We're going to run across... Then there. I know that's going to annoy some people. This bit here. I'll tell you what, I'll dismantle all of that. I'll do that. I'll cancel that. And the pipe work will run up to there. And then across here. Like that. And that'll be all the pipe work needed. That's, well, all of the large pipe needed. The rest will just be small pipe work that will extend out to different areas. In fact, actually, that would not be overly great. What would be best if I did that? Then it's more centralized to then get better spacing on it. Yeah, that should be fine, we hope. Okay, so we're going to check, is this a model cell? It is not, because it is not designated as a cell. That is now a cell, which we have, you can see, some prisoner capacity. Prisoner intake, just to confirm, is definitely closed. Okay, so we're going to clone, and we're going to clone this. And we're going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert, generic, counting, reference here. And there we go. There's all of our cells along there. Now, the question is, do I want these ones to open up on the center, or do I want them opened up down the bottom? I want them to open up down the bottom, and... that also means that when we build it, I will then be able to use it as the model cell for here, which is handy. So cell to there, objects, bed, head, end towards the entrance so the guards can look in and see what's going on. Again, don't know if that makes any difference whatsoever mechanically, but we're going to do it nonetheless because it seems to be the right thing. Cell block A, raise prison capacity to 15. Well on the way towards that. In terms of other grants, we can pick up some more grants. We've got prison maintenance, visitation rights, security procedure certification. I think we'll go for prison maintenance because a lot of that... Actually, I was going to say a lot of that's done. It's not at all. We need cleaning bureaucracy, foreman, to janitors and gardener. Right, well, we can do just that. So... 1, 2, 3. Do require a foreman. There's foreman. And we're now well on the way to researching that. And that's fine anyway, because as you can see, it's all dirty. So this needs to be cleaned before prisoners arrive anyway, because staff morale will be hitting the deck anyway. Speaking of staff morale, we definitely have now a good gauge because we have people here. Staff needs, as you can see, we've got bladder, bowels, food, comfort. We have warmth here. Even though it says the 4 staff need this, we haven't put the heating on. You can see over on here, There's no weather system. So that'll always be satisfied as far as I'm aware. Bladder, bowels, food. Well, bowels here and bladder, yes, those should be sorted. This is designated as staff only, so that should certainly be fine. Speaking of staff only, that can go to staff only as well. So yeah, do I want to do that one? Oh, I can't because that's outside, that's fine. For whatever reason, that little block needs to be staff only as well. So, I'm going to come in here. It's staff only, but they will get escorted, that's fine. Once they're in, then yeah, that's all sorted. So, recreation, safety. Safety isn't a need at the moment that they'll have any hit with because there's nobody here to impact that. In terms of environment, that will go down, so that's why we need to get cleaning. Rest will be from the sofas. Recreation is a problem. We don't have any recreational facilities in here. So what I'll do is place... Don't want to place sofa there, sofa there, sofa there. I'm just going to place our sofas along here like so. And then what I'll do is have a radio in each corner, you see. And then that should fulfill all of those needs. So that'll be fine. We're going to go to staff and janitor. We're going to go 1, 2. Just for the purposes of getting this grant done. So that's a mistake. I was looking, why is that not a legitimate thing? Yeah, it's because I've placed a bench there rather than a table. It'll come in handy, it's not a problem. What I'll do is foundation, bulldoze. I'm going to bulldoze all of that. It has removed the yard, which is something I thought may happen. I was tempted to not have this exposed and have it just as one solid lump of concrete. However, my thoughts were, if you look outside like that, and it's one big lump of concrete, then you know, well, it's just one big lump of concrete. However, there's something about having a huge foundation and a fairly relatively tiny strip of exposed land in the middle that emphasises just how bleak this thing can be. You know, if it's just one block, it's just a block. Whereas you see it like this and you go, well, that's literally the only bit they have access to. It emphasises that how bad it could be. Although, again, mechanically, I don't think it will really impact them too much. It might hit the freedom need. So 12, 13, 14, 15. That should be our grant done there. One gardener. There we are. We will go for another grant, which we'll see. We can see we've got visitation rights. We've got security procedure certification, prisoner acclimatization, and engagement. I will go for that because it's very easy for me to do. It does require laundry. It requires prisoners working in the kitchen, in the cleaning cupboard, which we don't have. However, what we can do is build some of these rooms that I mentioned and crack on with that. So I think we will do just that, and that will be next episode. So we will... Hang on. Why is this not legitimate? Ah. Because I didn't clone the doors. Well, technically, I cloned where the door should have been, but I didn't put the door on, which is, well, always prohibitive when it comes to trying completing something. So, what else do we need to do? That is getting nicely clean, so well done, janitor. And it's getting clean in here, which is good, because that will aid in, well, not getting an infectious disease in the canteen. There we go. And we've got a grant done. So we have now visitation rights, we've got security procedure certification, we've got cell block B, which is another 10 grand advance payment, and then a 20 grand after that. So it's a slightly reduced amount of money, because we've got 40 grand for the last one, but it's still a fairly big chunk. Current balance is 53,000 generic units of currency, more than enough to get, I reckon, well, prisoner acclimatization engagement fairly easily. We'll get that done, no problem whatsoever. And cell block B, it is possible that we could spend that money on that, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do instead is focus on next episode getting that grant done, prisoner acclimatization, and then I will focus on getting all of these rooms here done. So we need the kitchen done, we need the canteen done, we need to get power and lighting all in here, and we probably need to think about maybe the patrols. One of the things I mentioned right at the start of the episode, which I'm sorry I didn't come to, but I mentioned about there being a downside to not having the lines down here. That's if it kicks off here, and there's a guard here, they have to walk all the way around. So security can be impacted. It means more patrols, or it means accepting the risk. But there's, cost benefits with everything. Either way, that's what we're going to leave for there. Next episode, we'll go for, as I've said, the kitchen and the canteen, get all the lighting sorted and all the power. But good progress. Didn't think we'd get all of that done in one big lot, and a lot of grants done. So yeah, happy. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Comment in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.